Hello, I'm Nolana Vanigita.
My name is Iko Mangempana Dijaya.
My name is Niwayan Arindra Kusuma.
My name is Niputu Cika Putri Gunawan.
My name is Imade Brian Kusuma Yoga.
The Tempest begins with a violent storm at sea, conjured by the magician Prospero, the rightful Duke of Milan, who has been living in exile on a remote island with his daughter, Miranda, for 12 years. The storm wrecked the ship carrying Alonso, the king of Naples, his son Ferdinand, and Prospero's treacherous brother Antonio, who usurped him. On the island, Prospero reveals to Miranda that he caused the tempest through his magic, aided by the airy spirit Ariel, whom he commands. He also consults Caliban, the island's resentful native who plot a rebellion. As events unfold, Ferdinand and Miranda meet and quickly fall in love, which pleases Prospero, though he pretends to oppose it at first to test Ferdinand's sincerity. Meanwhile, Alonso gives grief the supposed loss of Ferdinand, while Antonio and Sebastian, Alonso brothers, plot murder to seize power. Ariel, invisible towards these scenes. Caliban, joined by two drunken servants, Stefano and Trinculo, also plan to kill Prospero and take control of the island. Their plot, however, fails comically. In the end, Prospero confronts his enemy, forgives them, and reveals his true identity. He restores Ferdinand to Alonso, who is overjoyed to find his son alive and engaged to Miranda. Prospero renounces his magic, free Ariel, and prepares to return to Milan to reclaim his dukedom.
This story mirrors this characteristic in multiple ways. The first, it connects to the age of exploration. Just like English sailors of Queen Elizabeth's time, the characters are thrown into new lands, meeting people who seem different or unfamiliar. Caliban represents how Europeans often saw the native people they encountered, sometimes as dangerous, sometimes as uncivilized, but always as other. Second, the story shows Elizabethan ideas about power and order. Prospero ruled the island the way a monarch ruled society. His authority over Ariel and Caliban mirrored how Elizabethans thought about hierarchy. Some obey willingly, others resist, but in the end order must be restored. Third, the story reflects the Renaissance love of knowledge and discovery. Prospero's magic is really a symbol of learning. His books give him power. In Elizabethan times, people were fascinated by new knowledge, science, and even the supernatural, and this mixture is clear in the story. Finally, the story carries the spirit of national pride and renewal. When peace is restored and Prospero forgives his enemies, the story ends with harmony and hope. This matches how Elizabethan England saw itself after great victories such as defeating the Spanish Armada and stepping confidently into a new age.
So, first of all, we have colonialism. The Elizabethan age was basically marked by exploration and the beginnings of empire. Prospero's arrival on the island, his takeover, and his treatment of Caliban all reflect how Europeans claimed new lands and subjugated their native inhabitants. Caliban's complaint, saying, "This island's mine," captures the voice of colonized peoples. Prospero, meanwhile, represents the colonizer, who justifies control through civilization and knowledge. Second, there's the theme of power and hierarchy, which mirrors Elizabethan society. England was strictly ordered. They had a monarch, nobility, gentry, and commoners. So on the island, Prospero rules like a king, Ariel serves as a loyal subject, and we have Caliban, that's pushed to the bottom. So the struggle between Prospero and his usurping brother Antonio echoes Elizabethan anxieties about rightful rulers and political stability. Third, we find that the play reflects Elizabethan fascination with magic and knowledge. Prospero's books symbolize the humanist idea that knowledge equals power, but we also have magic that also carried danger. Witch trials and suspicion were very common in Shakespeare's England. The play captures this tension between superstition and the rise of scientific curiosity, so there's this contrast between the two. Fourth, we have gender. Despite Queen Elizabeth's reign, women at that time still had very limited roles. Miranda is quite literally the only central female character, and she was portrayed as pure, obedient, and subject to her father's control. Her marriage to Ferdinand isn't just romance, it was a political arrangement which shows how women were often tied to family honor and alliances. Very, very transactional. Finally, the play highlights class tensions. Elizabethan England had very rigid hierarchies, but exploration and trade were creating new wealth. Characters like Stefano and Trinculo, though they were commoners, they dreamt of ruling the island with Caliban, and their failure serves as satire. It satirizes the idea of social climbing, which reinforces the belief that only the right people should rule.
Based on early modern European society and its core social value and anxiety in 4K area, social hierarchy and authority in Elizabethan society was reflected on the great chain of being, and a divine hierarchy from God to creature. The play explored this order with Prospero, the rightful duke, representing the power and authority come from a noble birth. His main goal is to reclaim his rightful place in the hierarchy, while Antonio and Sebastian's murder attempt and usurpation represent serious transgression against natural and social order. So, the content for the lower classes. The drunken battle Stefano and Jester Trinculo are looked down upon by the nobles. Their attempt to become king of the island is dismissed as foolish, reinforcing the notion that commoners are unfit for the political power. Patriarchy and female chastity in the Elizabethan age. Women's social status was defined by patriarchy. As seen in the Miranda's character, obedience and supervision, Miranda's role is to serve her father will by marrying Ferdinand, thereby restoring Prospero political power and securing their family line. Humanism and knowledge. Their Renaissance emphasizes humanism, valuing individual potential and the pursuit of knowledge. Magic as scholarship. Prospero downfalls stem from his obsession with magic book over his responsibility as a duke. Ultimately, he chose to break his staff and drown his book, signaling to a return to a natural order and prioritizing forgiveness over vengeance.
And in conclusion, Shakespeare's The Tempest is more than just a story of shipwreck, magic, and reconciliation. It is a mirror of the Elizabethan world and its values. Through Prospero's rule over the island, Caliban's subjugation, and Miranda's obedience, the play reflects the era's attitude towards colonial expansion, rigid social hierarchy, patriarchy, and the tension between humanist learning and superstition. At the same time, its themes of rightful authority, forgiveness, and renewal echo Elizabethan concerns with political stability and national pride. By weaving these cultural and social conditions into a compelling story, Shakespeare not only entertained his audience but also engaged with the defining issues of the Golden Age of England, leaving a play that resonates as both a product of its time and a timeless exploration of power, identity, and humanity.